Now, before we go, U.S. horse racing has a rich and storied legacy with races such as the Kentucky Derby and the Breeders' Cup. It was also one of the country's most exciting and lucrative businesses, but as Yakenda Mcgahee reports, those glory days might be gone forever.
And I've always said one of the three greatest sounds in sports. One is the roar of a crowd. The other is the roar of auto racing. And the third is if you're standing on a racetrack and they're coming down the stretch, and down the stretch they come.
And down the stretch they come!
And you hear the hoofs and the thunder as it hits the turf.
But the day-to-day reality is that the familiar sounds of thoroughbred racing are a fading memory for many older Americans.
I remember back when Firm won the Triple Crown.
A virtually non-existent one for this younger generation.
I've heard a lot about it.
Is that the horse race?
Do you even know the name of the horse that's favored?
I have no idea.
They're off.
There was a time when thoroughbred horse racing sat atop the American sports throne, its royal status shared only with boxing and baseball.
Racing, one time here used to be packed years ago, in the 80s and the 90s, but everything, going away slowly, right,
As major market sporting franchises and big-name sports stars dominate headlines, the racing industry is bleeding revenue, waning in popularity. According to a McKinsey & Company racing industry report, between 2000 and 2010, U.S. horse racing attendance dropped by 30%, and the money bet on horse races plummeted 37%. Race tracks are failing with regularity.
I wouldn't say it's dying, but it is ailing. I mean, the interest in it isn't very high.
Once packed parks are now closed for business, and many of the surviving venues are kept alive, some would say artificially, as live simulcasts on monitors have replaced live racing on tracks, and as on-site casinos generate more revenue than on-site races. Incorporating other forms of gambling is the only way many racetracks have managed to stay open. And experts say, ironically, gambling competition may be what leads to their ultimate demise. Slots, casinos, and even the lottery provide the public a faster and easier gambling option. Experts say until the lottery came along, horse racing had a near monopoly on U.S. gambling. Not so anymore, as playing the lottery is much more convenient than going to the track. Far less complicated than handicapping a horse. I won. So can thoroughbred horse racing be saved in America? Some say maybe, if the aging sport can attract bigger names and younger fans.
They can get a basketball in the hoop and go play anywhere. Okay, it's easy to go do that. Baseball, well, you can find a field for baseball. Football, young people just can't go spend $10,000 and buy a coat and expect it to be racing for the Triple Crown.
We need some superstars, you need your Michael Jordans of the racing industry to pique them to come out.
But any hopes that California Chrome would be that superstar
It won't be a Triple Crown this year. It's going
were
to be
dashed
close.
with his Belmont Stakes loss, leaving some enthusiasts to believe that horse racing will never regain its bygone glory days in American sport. Yakenda Mcgahee, CCTV, Los Angeles.